back to the Doulas No Squat Book Club. We are going to be continuing to read Deliver, a concise guide to supporting the woman you love through labor. We're discussing topics including early labor positions and different foods that you can eat while in labor. Thank you so much for joining us today, and let's get ready to hear from some doulas who know squat.
Okay, so let's talk about chapter 7. Page 51 and 52 talks about some different restful positions. Wow, I just opened it up right to page 52. That's crazy. Skills. Okay, so on page 51, it's got a picture of side lying, which is a position that I really like. And then it talks about side resting and sitting in child's pose. So what are some of your favorite restful positions that you give to clients?
So I do really like child's pose, but I also just like resting over a yoga ball or on the side of the picture.
Yeah. I got a cub now, so I'm kind of obsessed with it because cubs are amazing. And now it's my favorite thing. I don't even bring birth balls to births anymore because you can sit on a cub and literally everything you can do with a birth ball you can do with a cub, but that's not reversed. So now I just don't even bring birth balls anymore. I just bring my cub. And it's a kind of one size fits all situation. So
yeah,
kind of. I'm sure if I have like a really short client or a really tall client, I'm going to be a little high and dry on the whole sitting and bouncing portion. But other than that, there's so many different kinds of restful positions that you can do with it because it's got that cutout where they can just lay their belly in the hole and actually lay down on it versus like with the ball, you've got like the back arch thing going on, which is fine. It works great. It's helped a lot of babies come out, but not spoiled.
You are spoiled. It's like I like to try and do like the restful positions that are also somewhat upright, just to kind of have gravity working with you while still resting.
Yeah, those are good too, especially if we're talking like engagement. So chapter 7 is all about early labor, and what we're really wanting in early labor is to get baby to move down. Okay, obviously we're wanting cervical change too, but if we're looking for that Ferguson effect,
moving down, that's cervical change.
Exactly, like cervix, baby head, right?
Yeah.
Dilate, Ferguson effect. And so moving baby down is going to help with that. And so that's normally what I focus on a lot for the positions. So doing things like lying cowgirl where your back is arched, or like throne position, which is restful because you're sitting. And you can always have it to where their head is while they're sitting, which is using gravity, like what you're talking about. I like hanging out on the toilet.
Dilation station.
Now I know that there's like a whole thing of sitting on the toilet in late labor because it can be so intense that it can cause some tearing. But if we're looking at early labor, I see no cons to sitting on a toilet if you're comfortable. And I actually had a client just gift me a portable squatty potty to take to hospital birth. She was like, "Thank you for everything you did for me. I bought this for you." And it's a little squatty potty.
That's so sweet.
It's amazing. It breaks down right in my birth. I need a bigger birth.
Your birth bag isn't big enough? Maybe you just need two. You have one that you roll in front, one that you roll behind. Get one of those.
I like a backpack and a roller because the cub doesn't fit as well as everything else. Oh, hi, baby. Sorry. I have a giant dog. Everyone meet Mork.
I did not even hear you come in.
Open my office door. Anyway, so I need a bigger birth ball for all of my fun gifts that my husband and clients have been buying me, and they're all amazing, and I use them in various ways at different births. But in early labor, I always really focus on engagement specific positions. Do you have any other favorite positions before we move on to the next?
No, not really.
All right. I think we about covered it. There's also something to be said about doing positions in specific orders. So I would encourage people to spend some time on the Spinning Babies website. Bundle Birth has something, I think it is pronounced the Lavon circuit. I'm not sure. LOVNNE, I think. That is pretty awesome. Everything for Bundle Birth is designed for nurses, so it's all hospital based. And it teaches you how to use the different abilities of like hospital beds and things to get really good engagement positions. And there's a circuit there that I found to work pretty well for my induction clients. Because other than that, I'm not in the hospital. You're there too soon. You shouldn't be doing engagement stuff at the hospital unless you're getting induced, in my opinion. But it's always up to the client. They want to go in. Okay, page 54 talks about feeding mom during labor, which I know I said I wasn't going to quote the book today, but I actually am. For many years, food was restricted for laboring women to reduce the chance of aspiration, choking, in the rare cases that she'd need to go under general anesthesia. Modern recommendations and research by the World Health Organization, however, suggest that this practice is not beneficial and is actually harmful.
I wish that most hospitals would actually recognize that.
Follow those policies?
Yeah.
Who? Hi, guys. I'm doing this. I'm just saying. It's been recommended by who for a bit.
A really long time at this point. I mean, it takes 15 years on average for like evidence-based practice to actually be just widely, but I feel like it's been that long now.
I'm just saying. Anyway, like this hasn't been an issue for a long time, and yet it's still so widely practiced. So this turns into two different questions for me. And the first one I want to talk about is, in the situation that you have a client who either says, I'm eating, regardless of hospital policy, or you're birthing in a place where they accept people eating, that's not something that they try to restrict. What kind of foods do you recommend, bring, suggest?
I mean, I know that you do this too. I'm a big fan of broth.
Broth, vegetable broth, bone broth, all of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, really anything that's like gentle and light snacks, because you don't really want something super heavy, but especially later by the time you're in the hospital.
That's where you go.
Yeah, that's where you go. At that stage of labor, you don't really want a lot of times moms don't even want to eat at that point.
Yeah, their abdomens are so busy that
if the mom tolerates dairy, then I really like cheeses, like having those high protein options, but like cheeses, deli meat can be good too if you're still at home and have refrigerator and stuff. But I mean, fruits are so good. That high protein, and also some of those high natural sugars that just kind of give you that quick energy, especially as you go along. Like, have that energy is what you're looking for. So having those maybe more carb focused foods can be helpful too. But
yeah, fruits, nuts, cheese, all of that is going to be really helpful. If we're just thinking something that is going to give you energy, keep your body functioning, working through the whole labor process. What if you have a client that decides that she's going to do the liquid diet? What do we do?
I mean, the liquid diet
Liquid.
Yeah, so broth and like juices. I'm a big fan of coconut water. What I really like is coconut water mixed with pineapple juice. Gives you helps with the electrolytes and the energy.
Yeah, that's really helpful. What we want to stay away from is anything with caffeine. We want to stay away from simple sugars. We're trying to stay away from anything that's going to go up and then crash, because we don't want maternal exhaustion at push time. People get really, really focused on getting through the labor portion, and then they hit 10 centimeters and like, we're done. No, you finished stage 1. Now we're starting stage 2. It's just that's what people tend to focus on getting through, and pushing is just kind of.
I mean, it really is just the nutrition that you want to follow all the time. You want to have those like high protein, some fats and stuff for that long-term energy, as well as some of the more simple sugars to get like have a balance, so that you have the energy through that whole time. You get energy now, and you get energy later.
Yes. I also encourage people to do things like packing drink packets, like the powdered stuff, simply because we need to be able to transport and to not worry about it and be able to make things easily. So if we're thinking like what's going to fit in my doula bag, a cooler full of coconut water, it's not. As wonderful as it is to be able to have access to things like that. If you're going to a lot of like birth centers, they're actually going to have that there. They're going to make smoothies for you there, more than likely. They will literally have a smoothie bar. If you're giving birth here, where we are in Kansas City, and you're going to the local birth center, they have a fantastic smoothie bar and coconut water basically on tap. You can request it at any time, and they've ordered me, and it is fantastic. Just don't drink their coffee. Well, doulas, don't be giving coffee to the people who are giving birth. Anyway, I have literally
The doula also needs energy.
Take care of yourself, but I've literally had to do mantras to get their coffee down. It's so bad. I think it's their coffee maker, because they use Folgers, which is delicious. The coffee makers, you can't make a good cup of coffee with that coffee maker.
But I should say that I'm kind of coming into this conversation with a predisposition towards preparing for home birth.
Right. So we all.
I have to forget the realities of having to go somewhere else.
So the reality is, if you're giving birth at a hospital, unfortunately, coconut water and pineapple juice is not going to work for you. So you're going to have some kind of powdered option. I suggest sugar-free. I know things like aspartame are so terrible, but having it just one time to get you through, where you're not, if you chug sugar, it actually might make you throw up. So if your electrolytes are really low and your energy is low, and I give you something like a Squinchers, which is sugar-free, and you chug that, then we see you get replenished.
So that Squinchers is also very full of electrolytes.
Exactly. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for hydration plus electrolyte, and some form of sweetener that's going to kick your body up into the energy levels back up. I also like protein bars are really good for hospital births. Always good to have nuts. They might have little refrigerators. They might make you use a communal fridge in something that's called a nutrition room. So having things like just, on the hospital tour, look, see if you have your own fridge. That's also going to be important if you plan to keep your placenta. So then you're going to have a fridge to put your placenta in, or if you need to have your doula take it with them, or, make a plan beforehand for that. But it also is going to really dictate what kind of snacks you can bring and what you're going to bother pack. Because if you have something that's like a protein bar, nuts, packets, you can just leave them in your car. And then you have them when you go, and you don't have to go and pack something that needs to be refrigerated. It's the realities of life when you're traveling, when you're birthing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like
so much extra things.
Yes. Yes, it is.